Welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you, and super happy to have in the studio with me Nina Turner, the president of OurRevolution, the former state senator from Ohio, and Bernie 2016 surrogate. Senator, welcome back.
Thank you, Thom.
Senator Turner, and it is so nice to have you in the studio, and happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
This is not your birthday. You want to tell us about it?
It is OurRevolution's birthday, 1 year.
365 days today.
Yes, today, when Senator Bernie Sanders launched this revolution. Is very similar to what he said on the campaign trail. If millions and millions of people get together, right, get involved, we can change this country. We can change the government. We can change our future. And by good, people have done that. They're doing it. So really excited. We have to date over 400 groups right now across the country, 49 states. I want South Dakota to know that we're coming.
You don't have a group in South Dakota?
Don't have a group in South Dakota. If South Dakota's listening, please.
I guarantee you there are people in South Dakota listening.
We need the revolution in South Dakota.
Okay.
And 7 of those, though, are in other countries. So we have 2 in Canada. So we are international, worldwide, but 2 in Canada. We have, I think, 2 in France. So I want to thank the Democrats abroad for that so very much. But this is good stuff.
And by the way, Senator Turner can be with us for the whole half hour here. So if you'd like to ask her any questions, feel free to give us a call at 202-808-9925, and we can put you on, and the both of us can talk to you. So in 1 year, what is your sense of how we're doing at 1 year old here, OurRevolution? Not only how OurRevolution is doing, but how the Democratic Party is doing, which is the focus of much of the efforts of OurRevolution, or maybe not. I mean, correct me.
Well, we empower the grassroots, and we go into our states and our communities in ways that I don't think any other group does. I mean, just to give an example, Randall Woodfin, young African American running in Birmingham, Alabama for mayor, running on a progressive platform, got the endorsement of OurRevolution. Just came out of his primary just Tuesday, over the incumbent.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great.
Over the 2-term incumbent.
Wow.
And that came not just by OurRevolution, but he has a wonderful team, but we backed him.
Was this a primary against a corporate Democrat, or was this an election against a Republican?
No, it was a Democrat. It is a Democrat. So this young man is going, to the runoff in October, but I use his election as an example because here you have young people all over this country, and they're running. One of the things that Senator Sanders asked people to do, get involved in the process. Now, you don't always have to run for office to be involved, but that is one way. And in order for us to change the trajectory of this nation, it's not just going to happen from the White House or from Congress or even the state legislatures. We need school board members, city council members, and by God, we definitely need mayors. So proud of Randall Woodfin. He still has to get to October the 3rd, but that is just one example. We don't just concentrate on the president, the office of the president or the Congress. Every single office. We even do state party. Transform the Democratic Party is part of our works. And we have we help to elect 7 progressive chair people across this country. So we're doing the work, progressive candidates, progressive issues, and doing our best to transform the Democratic Party to make it more accountable to the grassroots.
Yeah, and to all of us, absolutely all of us. The People's Platform. Did the People's Platform come out of OurRevolution, or has OurRevolution just embraced it? I don't know the.
Yeah, it did, and we have some partner groups like DFA, Democracy for America, National Nurses United. So we have other groups that are helping us with this. But yes, this was born by coalition, and we have 8 bills or 7 bills, and all of those bills have been introduced in the Congress by Democrats.
Right.
All of those bills link in some way to the progressive platform. Remember, we kept hearing the most progressive platform in the history of the country was passed by the Democrats in July. Well, here it is. And so what our focus is to get members of the House of Representatives to sign on to those bills, to affirm that Medicare for all is the way to go, to affirm that $15 an hour minimum wage is important. And I want to go back to the Medicare for all bill because we know that Congressman John Conyers, he introduced that bill in the House, and Senator Sanders is going to introduce his bill in the Senate. But it really comes from that push and the fact that Democrats just can't. This is not just about resisting Mr. Trump. This is really about having a plan and having a vision. It's inspirational. people don't vote from their head; they vote from their heart. Now, I believe if you can touch their heart, we can get to their head, but we got to start with their heart first.
Right, and this is the problem of arguing rationally with Trump followers, for example.
Yes.
They've become so tribal, essentially. This is my guy, this is my tribe, kind of thing. And it's just, and I think that's constantly being stoked by Fox so-called news and right-wing hate radio. But the pieces of the People's Platform, Medicare for all, college for all, $15 minimum wage, women's health care rights, automatic voter registration, ending private prisons, Wall Street tax, and 100% renewable energy. These are the 8 platform points. Do I have these right?
You do.
How are we doing on these? The Medicare for all you just mentioned, it's, you know, Bernie's going to be introducing that. This is not something that I think any of us are naive enough to think Republicans are going to embrace, although, you know, I suppose pigs can fly. I don't know. You know, I'd be worried about the apocalypse if Republicans started to embrace that. But
let's hope some will. And maybe some on the local level, I mean, even though they couldn't vote for it in the Congress. But wouldn't it be nice, Tom, to have people put aside that label and just come together and do what is right? Last time I checked, Republican folks need some health care, too. Last time I checked.
Well, and a lot of Republicans actually support single payer or Medicare for all if you describe it to them as anything other than Medicare for all or single payer. You know, if you describe,
take that label off, just explain the concept.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's what the polling says. Too. Not that, you know, polls are not everything, but they're a snapshot in time, and they. But this is. And the fact that the elders in this country, Medicare for all, Medicare has been working tremendously well. We don't see seniors jumping up saying, "Go ahead and take my Medicare; it's not working."
Hey, I'm on Medicare. Right. I love it.
Love it. So let's do it for all. Let's make sure that people have access to high quality health care. You remember not Teddy Roosevelt, but FDR, President FDR in 1944, I think, when he was rolling out that Economic Bill of Rights, called it, and he talked about decent jobs, decent housing, health care.
Yeah.
You know, let's go. Let's do it.
There it is, right there.
Oh, you have it. Oh my God. He has it. See, you and I are channeling each other, right? 1944, President FDR proposed an economic bill of rights. Every American has the right to. Now think about that. He said the right to, not maybe, not kind of half measured, has the right to a job, an adequate wage, and decent living. We didn't plan this time. I want your listeners and viewers to notice a decent home, medical care. Can I say that one more time? Medical care, economic protection during sickness, accident, old age, or unemployment, a good education.
And that was 72 years ago.
Oh my God.
I mean, you know, it's not like, there you go. Yeah.
Oh my God.
There you go.
We did not plan this.
No, but it's true. That's exactly how. This is my little stack of.
This is inspiring.
Yeah. So so that's Medicare, and then the college for all. How's that going? And the fight against college, having college debt. I mean, we've got $1 trillion college debt out there, which is insane.
Combined college debt. Yeah. And that has an impact on the middle class, and people don't look at it that way. Yep. I really want people, I mean, I know we've distilled it down to say free college and university, but I want people to think of it this way, Tom. I want them to think about how in this country, at first, everybody was didn't have access to education. You had to be wealthy, you had to be male, you had to be white.
Yep.
Let's be honest about it.
Yep.
But over time, we progressed. And so now we have this K through 12 model. Needs fixed somewhat, a lot. That's another show. But we need to envision in this 21st century economy a pre-K to 16 model. So this is not necessarily about free, it's about investment. Right. So if we can invest $80 billion a year to house people in prison, why can't we make that a better commitment on the front end to ensure that our folks in this country are highly educated, especially the millennial generation and generation after them? They won't be able to compete with their peers across the world unless they're highly skilled and highly educated. It's an investment.
And every other developed country in the world makes this investment. Yes. And we learned after, again, going back to FDR, actually I think it was Harry Truman who did the GI Bill of Rights, the GI Bill. And what we learned from that is that for every dollar that we spent educating mostly young men who had come back from the war, but there were some women who also qualified for it, but that for every dollar that we spent educating these people, we made $7 in additional taxes over the course of their lifetimes. So it's not only an investment in the country, it's an investment, just in a purely cold financial context that ideally a Republican could even understand.
Yes.
Wouldn't you want to make an investment where you put $1 in and over the next 30 years you get $7 back? That seems like a good idea.
That's a good return on that investment.
Okay, so and then the $15 minimum wage, how are we doing with that?
Yeah, so the goal is really to get every Democrat in the House of Representatives to sign on to this bill. So we have, certain sign-on. People can go to OurRevolution.com and to see whether or not their member signed on, to see exactly where they stand. And we encourage people to call their member of Congress to say to them, come on now.
There you go. And if you want to call your member of Congress, it's 202-224-3121.